Good evening, guys and girls. This is the first time we've been streaming the original Assetto Corsa in a long time, and it shows because we have no idea what we're doing with the overlays or how to change cameras or anything basically, but we think we've got it to a stage that is good enough. Just looking at Jake Biggerstaff, he's joined us. He actually raced last week, so it's good to see Jake back. But yeah, so a little bit different. Nice quick races this evening, so we should be plenty of action. There's a few of the guys that are setting some really quick pace at the front. I know Rob Fowler, everyone's been struggling to stay on the pace of Rob, so it will be interesting to see if anyone could do anything about this man, Rob Fowler. Apologies if the audio, there's a bit of echo going on because I'm basically sat in an empty box, so hopefully this will improve with time, but for now you're going to have to deal with it. We've got 15 drivers this evening, only 10 showing up on the leaderboard as you see it at the moment. That's one of the quirks of this the system we're using here, but there is, I can guarantee or assure you, there is 15 in the server. Maybe 14, so I've lied already, so maybe don't take my assurance quite so seriously. But yes, this man here, Rob Fowler, we can see he's currently half a second down on Tom Simpkins, who's done a 27.3 at the front. So let's have a look at Tom. He's in the orange and green liveried GTAM. These cars, absolute classics. This is a 1970 GTAM, the Alfa Romeo, of course. And this evening we're at Goodwood, so these cars are really well suited to this circuit. Loads of suspension travel. You can see the car just absorbing the undulations on this circuit with no problem, just getting the back end out on these fat tyres as he bails on that lap. And actually Max Tad has gone to pole position on a 127.1. He only just downloaded the car about 10 or 15 minutes ago, so maybe, well, we don't know what's going on there, but he's certainly quick. So that is going to be interesting to keep an eye on, the 25 car of Max Tad. Okay then, 5 minutes 45 seconds to go. Relatively close for the top four, and then we've got a big gap back to Jake Biggerstaff here, who's trying to, looks like he's lining up for another lap because he's slow through there, but that's not the best exit. The back end stepping out all the time as the cameras struggle to focus in on Jake as he comes down the main straight of the Goodwood circuit into the fast right-hander, which tightens all the time. It's quite a tight right over the crest of the hill. The car goes light out towards the outside, and then it's full power all the way down here. You can see on the map in the top right-hand corner, you actually can't see this car because it's for some reason stuck on the car in the pit. So let's get rid of that and just trust what we can see on screen. So lots and lots of right-handers around Goodwood. One of the few left-handers coming up here. Again, quite a tight, tricky over the crest. So if you carry a bit too much speed, as we see Jake do that, and he goes onto the grass, and there is barely any grip on the circuit tonight. So if you see any cars going wide, just carrying a bit too much speed into the corners, if they get on the grass, they will not be rejoining any time soon. And I dare say there may be some incidents with people getting on the grass and unable to control the car. Feel free to let me know if the audio, stuff like that, is okay in the chat. Like I say, this is new for us tonight, or not new, but it's been a long time since we've been streaming this platform, so there could be a few little teething problems, but I hope that it's going to be just as fun as we see somebody in the background there absolutely stuffing it into the final chicane tyres. But I hope what we're going to see tonight is some of the classic racing that we used to see in this community, where it's quick, short, exciting races We don't have to sit there and try and think about things to talk about for 40 minutes. Just 3 races this evening then. Each race is 13 minutes in length plus a lap. We're doing about 1 minute 30-second laps around here on average. So we should get quite a few laps. Probably 10 by the time we have that extra lap at the end, maybe 9. But yeah, so it's going to be fast and frantic stuff. Not a lot of time to get to the front as we're watching Jake still. Getting pretty leery. So let's have a look at Max Tad. He seems to be really getting to grips with his car. Tom Simpkins pits. He doesn't pit. He just got so leery out the last chicane that it thought he was in the pits. Let's have a look at Rob Fowler, because he was setting the early pace earlier on this evening. Currently 0.35 down, 2.5 minutes to go. As you see that car just stepping out. Great to watch that kind of car behaviour. Not massively powered, these cars, but I would say just about the right amount of power and the right amount of grip to have not only some close racing but also some fun as well. And they do sound fantastic. The detail on these models is absolutely fantastic. The circuit tonight, this Goodwood, this is a mod circuit, so it's quite bare as you can see, but that's all we've got to play with, I'm afraid. As you see Rob coming into the last chicane, can he miss the barriers here? Gets very close to the second barrier, but it's a good run through there. So what will he be? 125, he's 121, 127, 1 to beat, and he's slow. Second down on that lap, so not a clean lap from Rob. He's got 1.5 minutes to do it. He will get time to do another lap. He will be very, very close to being able to do another lap after this one if he is fueled. Unfortunately, we can't see who's on good laps or the deltas at the moment. It's a little bit limited in that sense. Matt Davies going well as always. He's had a cracking championship in the GT2 cars on ACC, which is held on a Sunday evening. He'll be looking to be right at the front, because anything less is not a good night for Matt Davies. Missing a few guys tonight. We've now got Matt Johnston, who's a big player in AC. He's always at the front and has a knack of getting from the back of the grid to the front within 1 or 2 laps, if not less. Tom Simpkins then goes just 0.18 back, and that will be his qualifying over, so we won't see an improvement from him. So Max Tad at the moment on pole, showing the guys the way home at the moment. Not sure how he's found this speed, but he certainly has. Maybe he's very familiar with the Goodwood circuit. You can see him wrestling at the wheel there, taking loads of curb, hard on the brakes into the left-hander, plenty of curb once again, runs out wide. Just on the grass, as he managed to keep it on. He hasn't. He's on the grass and he has lost it. Again, that grass, very little grip. You see Dave Rose behind him in the blue Alfa there, and you see Max recovering. The clock has gone down to 0. Dave Rose all over there, so he's not going to improve, I dare say, on this lap. Currently on a 129.5, and he is bailed. Do we have any others? It looks like everybody is bailing. Rob Fowler still on, but he's 0.6 up at that delta. Jake Biggerstaff's bailed. John Walker bailed. Ross Parker still on a lap. Alex McGee on a lap but down. Andrew Wellborn 2 seconds off the pace. He will not be happy with that. Same as Tom Lyons, 2 seconds down. So it's quite close from about 7th downwards. And 12th have got Willie's 2.3 along with Ben Hanks. And Dave Rose 2.4. So let's see. So Rob doesn't improve on that lap. Who else was on a lap? Was it Alex McGee? Does not improve his position. So we will be going to a short intermission before the first race, because the way we have this set up, we do have to leave the server so we can restart the race. So we'll be back in just a few short moments. Okay, then as we line up on the grid for race 1, there is actually more cars on the grid because the blue car at the back next to Dave Rose is myself, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of magic here and hope that this will work. I don't think it's going to. Okay, let's go. We'll deal with that later. 5 lights on. Lights are out. Matt Davies gets off to a great start in the centre of the front row, and there's mayhem behind with Alex McGee causing absolute mayhem there. I'm not sure what's going on, so they're going to have to try and get back to the front. So Matt Davies is wide and he's gone round and he's collected by Tom Simpkins. So Matt Davies back down the field along with Tom Simpkins. This has allowed Max Tad to get away at the front with Rob Fowler and Ross Parker very, very close behind them then. So mayhem at the start. Just need to get the car off the grid if we can. There we go. Apologies for that. So back with the leader then as we come round the back of the circuit. We've got Rob Fowler and Ross Parker really, really close for second position, and then Stephen Paul in third in the white and kind of hearing aid sick coloured car in 4th position. Rob with his lights on, then he's hounding the back of Ross Parker. So Ross Parker does manage to get past Rob on the first lap, but Max Tad is absolutely just cleared off at the front. Oh, out of shape there for Ross Parker, and Rob has got past in the last corner. They both go wide, and that's allowed Stephen Paul to get right on the back of Ross Parker. Outbrakes himself. Ross is early on the brakes, and Stephen goes into the back of him. He's lifted off a bit to try and wait for Ross, but Ross is in no man's land, so he's probably better just to keep going now. And that's Andrew Wellborn up from about 10th on the grid into 3rd position. Max Tad out in the lead in the 25 car. Big lead, 2.3 in front of this man, Rob Fowler, and then Andrew Wellborn, Stephen Paul, and Tom Lyons all over the back of Stephen Paul now. So, and contact into the back of Stephen. Tom Lyons coming into this championship late, but he's certainly managed to get a good start here, and he's showing good pace, and Stephen Paul not showing the same pace as he had in qualifying. Max Tad 2.5 in the lead now, so Rob Fowler's got it all to do. 10 minutes 40 to go plus a lap, you can see at the top of the screen, so we'll keep an eye on this gap, see how that develops. It's all crossed up for Andrew Wellborn, as it says in the leaderboard, but that is Andrew Wellborn, and Stephen Paul's on the grass as well. Tom Lyons in the yellow car right behind Andrew, so these three going at it. Ben Hanks moves up above Matt Davies, so Matt Davies and Ben Hanks battling away, you see in the background just before the leaderboard. So Andrew Wellborn defends into the right-hander, and then they'll be hard on the brakes into the second part of the last corner. Pretty neat through there. Dave Rose going a little bit wide. Will they all get through the chicane without too much incident? I think they do. Just watching Matt Davies a little bit further back. What's happened here then? So I think Tom Lyons had an incident through the chicane, so he's lost a couple of positions there because he was right up behind Andrew Wellborn. And now he's down. Sorry, that's Stephen Paul that's going backwards there, and he's now... Where is Stephen Paul? Right, so Stephen Paul's had an incident. He has gone right back down to 12th position, now behind Jake Biggerstaff. 9 minutes to go then, so it is fast and furious. Rob has managed to make up 0.2 of a second so far. These two in a bit of a class of their own. Andrew Wellborn had a lot of company to deal with, but just behind them we can see Matt Davies looking to make up for that early mistake where we saw him spinning, so he's up past Ben Hanks. He's now got Dave Rose in front of him. Dave Rose a little bit wide. Matt Davies will try and go to the inside. He goes right to the inside, hits the grass. He's lost the car and he's speared off in front of Ben and collected the wall as well. So that's a nightmare for Matt Davies. He's not having a good race this evening, and he's nearly let the whole field through. He's going to be down into 13th position, and Ross Parker, who's also had an incident that I think we missed earlier on. So this is really allowing Max Tad to get away at the front relatively unscathed. He's just checked out. He's had Rob in his mirror, but a constant, as Rob does the fastest lap, but it's not the fastest lap for long. Sorry, that's the fastest lap of Rob's race, because he's 2.8 seconds down, so he's losing time to Max Tad all the time. Andrew Wellborn, another 9 seconds off the lead, so that's 7 seconds off second. Change of position then. Tom Simpkins getting past John Walker, but Tom Simpkins is right up behind Ben Hanks through this fast part of the circuit. Let's see if we can get some on board. There we go. Not sure what this view is all about. Oh God, we'll find a good view in the end. I think there's been contact there. That's a little bit better then. So Tom disposes of Ben Hanks, who's in 7th position. So Tom up to 6th. See him battling with the car sideways, and Ben Hanks in the background absolutely sideways. He's now got Dave Rose in front of him in 5th position. Then Tom Lyons a little bit further up, as you can see in the yellow car. So let's jump on board with Tom Lyons, and then he's got Andrew Wellborn, which is we're on board with now. Then Rob Fowler and Max Tad, who have just cleared off into the distance. Rob a little bit out of shape through there, but he's got away with it. Looks like a 1:27.3 for Max Tad, and then a 1:27.8 for Rob Fowler. So Max Tad is continuing to extend this lead. It looks like it's getting closer. In the background, we've got Tom Lyons, Dave Rose, and then Tom Simpkins as we see it. The orange and green car on the screen, and then Ben Hanks behind him with John Walker in the 34 car. Jake's Biggerstaff in the yellow, black and red car with Ross Parker trying to hunt him down. A lot of these guys recovering from early mistakes. Stephen Poll in the 44 car there, and then Matt Davies, who we've seen have two massive incidents, down in 12th position, and Will in the 22 car in 13th. So where is the action? Look like we've got a little bit of spread, and that looks like John Walker off in the background. He's on the grass, and then that is Jake Biggerstaff as well, and he's made a bigger meal of it. Is he going to start the circuit? Just about. He's got Matt Davies coming around, who could one more incident and he might just be rage quitting. So Jake Biggerstaff, then the latest victim of these cars. As soon as they get out of shape, you really have to be on it and try and control the recovery, because once they're going, they do not want to stop. 5 minutes 35 seconds to go then. Max Tad, a 1:28.5, a slower lap on that one, and 1:27.7 for Rob Fowler. So these two definitely in a class of their own. What can Andrew Wellborn do as he crosses the line? 1:28.8, so he's almost a second off the pace of Rob on that lap. Tom Lyons 1:29.4, Dave Rose a 28.8, Tom Simpkins a 28.2, and all the rest of the guys slightly slower. Where's the action then? So Tom Simpkins all over the back of Dave Rose. He's going up the inside. He's on the inside and he's managed to get that move done. We've got Dave Rose right behind him though. Can Dave do anything through here in the fast right? It's just a lift and back on the throttle, then hard on the brakes for this left-hander. Takes much go. He's missed the apex a little bit there, but it's not cost him too much speed, and he's actually gaining on Tom Lyons in front as we approach the end of the lap. Tom Lyons a little bit wide, and that has allowed Tom Simpkins to get up alongside, and he's going to go round the outside before the heavy braking into the right-hander. So he's got that move done really early on down the back straight, and that's allowing Dave Rose to catch up with these two as well. Tom Lyons is looking to come back at Tom there. He was a little bit, didn't know where he was going there, but through the double apex last corner, Dave Rose wide. Looks like the car's sinking into the circuit. He gets very, very close to that inside barrier, but manages to get away with it, and that is the fastest line. What's the lap time for Tom Simpkins with that overtake on this lap then? A 1:27.9, so that's a good lap from Tom, considering he made an overtake on that lap. Max Tad, 2.8 seconds in the lead, controlling this race. The car looks leery, but it's working for him. He's really bringing it to this grid, just turns up and pretty much so far whoops the floor with him. Rob Fowler, who, if you were a betting man, you would probably put, or woman, you would probably put your money on, but he has been able to do nothing about Max Tad. It's been a constant 2.5 to 3 seconds throughout the whole race. And who's that? Tom Lyons has had an incident. He's going backwards, so he's been off at the left-hander. He's lost one position to Ben Hanks and also Dave Rose, because we saw Dave Rose was behind him earlier on, and that's John Walker going a little bit wide also. A little bit of field spread, but there's only 2 minutes 45 to go, so that's not a problem. We'll soon be into race 2, and we start the mayhem once again. Andrew Wellborn with Tom Simpkins making good progress behind him, and Dave Rose wide in the background there. Can he keep in front of Ben Hanks? Because Ben Hanks has got a very good run on Dave here. Is he going to try and wing it round the outside? So we go through this fast first part to trying the undercut for the second part. That's a good move. He gets his nose up the inside, and he's going to get this move done in the number 50 car, but Dave Rose comes back on the outside. He carried good speed through there. They go very, very close, almost touching into the flat-out right-hander, and it's Ben Hanks who comes out on top so far, but Dave Rose is all over the back of him. Who's going to prevail into this next sequence of corners? Will he go for a move up the inside? He thinks better of it, and Ben Hanks holds the position. Great little bit of racing here between these two, but he's got a little bit slow on the exit. Alex McGee back to the pits. I had missed that Alex had gone back to the pits earlier on. Tries to go round the outside, does Dave Rose. These two side by side. Oh, and a bit of contact there, and that sent Dave Rose onto the grass. And can he keep it straight? He just about manages to keep it going. So Ben Hanks in 5th position then. Cracking on. Good position this for Ben Hanks, and it's all coming together a little bit further on. So we got Dave Rose, who we got here in the 50. So we got Tom Lyons, Dave Rose, Ross Parker, John Walker, and Matt Davies all going into the final chicane side by side. Can 2x2 go into there? I don't think they can. A bit of contact, but Dave Rose has come off worse there. 50 seconds to go. They're 3 wide down the straight. Matt Davies has got a real good run. He's almost got 3 positions here in the space of the home straight. Can he go around the outside, or is he going to try and get to the inside for this tighter part of the first sequence of corners? But he's actually wide, and he's actually losing time here to Ross Parker. On this contact between Ross and then Matt Davies is spun again. That's the 3rd time we've seen Matt Davies having a big incident, and once again we see Matt Davies coming off worse. It's like a spinning top in the background. He is having a mare. There's a change for 3rd position. So Andrew Wellborn has been overtaken by Tom Hanks. So it looks like Andrew has actually left the server, because I can't find him on track. So an issue for Andrew Wellborn. Hopefully no serious issues there. So that's going to hand 3rd place to Tom Simpkins. Oh no, Andrew Wellborn is still here, so I don't know if he had a bit of a glitch here or if he was off the circuit. We were struggling to pick him up on track, but he is still here. I can confirm that. This is the final lap then. So Max Tad has gone through the first corner. He's 3.7 ahead of Rob Fowler. Rob Fowler in 2nd position. And then Tom Simpkins quite a far back, so he's good 15 seconds back in 3rd position. Then Andrew Wellborn, Ben Hanks, and where is that battle behind? So we've got Tom Lyons in 6th position, then Dave Rose in 7th. And then we've got Jake Biggerstaff going up the inside of Stephen Paul. These two battling hard on the last lap for 8th position, currently held by Jake, but Stephen is looking to try and improve on that. And then behind them we've got John Walker, Ross Parker, Matt Davies in 12th, and then Will in 13th. And we know Alex McGee back in the pit, so he's retired. Let's check where Max Tad is though, because he will be coming round any moment to finish this lap, and he does. He's through the final corner, that thing sideways as ever. He's really wringing the neck of this car, and he's showing the other guys how to drive this thing around Goodwood as he takes the victory in race 1 at Goodwood. Max Tad, then Rob Fowler in 2nd position, 3.8 seconds back, and then Tom Simpkins in the orange and green car. Oh, very, very close to the barrier on the last lap. That's not what you want to be seeing. Maybe he's going for fastest lap, because there is points for fastest lap in this race. He goes over and it's a 1. We don't know, because it doesn't tell me. Then Andrew Wellborn in 4th position, and Ben Hanks very, very close to Andrew actually. Then Tom Lyons in 6th position. Dave Rose in 7th, getting it all out of shape in the chicane. Then Jake Biggerstaff in 8th. Then 9th is Stephen Paul in the, let's call that a gold. It's not as much of a hearing aid colour as I thought. Then Ross Parker, Matt Davies coming across the line to finish an absolute nightmare of a first race for him. And then John Walker in 11th position, followed by Will in 12th, or 13th, sorry. Right, we'll let all the guys leave, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes' time. Welcome back then, just 30 seconds to go. Guys, just loading into the server for race 2. So the start order for this race is the finishing order from race 1. As we see Rob Fowler just popping in there onto second on the grid. The lights are on. 1 light, 4 lights, 6. There we go, that was a good start from Max and Rob. These two absolutely fly off the line, and Tom has got a good start as well. And that's another big accident for Alex McGee again. More mayhem. Matt Davies almost sideways again. Just trying to keep an eye on the field here. Let's have a look at the front. Oh, and Tom Simpkins up the side of Rob. Bit of door banging there, and that's allowed Max Tad to get a good run, but Andrew Wellborn also getting a very, very good run. Shame we can't. Let's see if we can get a bit of a helicopter view here. No, that's not very good. Apologies for the cameras here. So we have Tom Simpkins and Max Tad. Max Tad sideways all over the place. Andrew will be rubbing his hands together as he gets a run, and that's got Rob behind him as well. So these four come down the back straight for the first time on lap 1 then. This could be anybody's game at the moment, as you see a nice wide angle. Max go into the outside Tom defending. Max goes down the outside, well late on the brakes, and he's got it going round the outside. So what's happening there? Oh, and there's contact from Tom. He tries to hold it on the inside, and he's come off worse there. Andrew Wellborn spins in sympathy, and it's all gone horribly wrong. Oh shit, I'm still on the grid. Please nobody hit me. Whoops. Well, that was lucky, wasn't it? So narrow avoiding the car stationary on the grid. A little bit of a scare for the boys there. Let me gather my thoughts. So we've got Rob Fowler and Max Tad going at it for first position, and then we've got Jake Biggerstaff in third, followed by Ben Hanks, and then Matt Davies a little bit further behind, having a much better race here, but it was all very, very manic on the first lap, and that seems to be a theme. Dave Rose down to 8th position because Stephen Paul has got passed into 7th position, and that was a little bit leery from Ben Hanks. So Ben Hanks currently in 4th, and he's got Matt Davies all over him. Matt Davies, we know he's fast, but he had like 3 big incidents in the first race. Oh, and he's getting quite bold into the back of Ben Hanks. Just a little bit of patience, but with only this amount of time, 13 minutes, and that's allowing Ross Parker to come past Matt Davies. So that little bit of contact into the back of Ben Hanks has made him back out of it, and it's costing quite a lot of time. Ross Parker good on the brakes into there, and Matt Davies can't do anything about it. So Matt Davies, oh, and that's Stephen Paul who's gone wide in the final or last but one corner, and Alex McGee is actually quite far up the grid now after that poor start. Let's have a quick look on board then, with Matt Davies getting a better run on the back of Ross Parker. He's having to stay out the throttle. You can hear him there just fading out the throttle, and that's cost him the run down this next straight. Who's that? That is Max Tad. So Max Tad, let's switch off here because we have, who do we have? Ben Hanks, Biggerstaff, Max Tad, Ross Parker and Matt Davies, but Ben Hanks has been tapped and he is wide onto the grass. Really hard to keep an eye on what's going on. Oh, and Ben's rejoined and been collected from behind, I think. It was just a slower car on the apex, and that's cost them dearly. Oh, such a shame. So as all the cars go through the mixer, that allows a Rob Fowler to just disappear into the distance. And then Max Tad is again in 2nd position. I don't know what had happened there, but it all got really close and compressed. I'm not seeing Andrew Wellborn, so Andrew Wellborn's back down in 10th position, so an incident there maybe. Oh, and that's Ross Parker getting it all out of shape as he managed to hold that just about. Yeah, and Matt Davies not having the most luck, it has to be said, in that yellow and blue car. Jake Biggerstaff looked like he was just had a bit of contact with the final chicane. Right then, so Rob Fowler in the lead, currently 4.2 seconds in front of Max Tad. Then Ross Parker, Jake Biggerstaff and Matt Davies in this little fight for 3rd position. Looks like Jake Biggerstaff has got past Ross, so he's managed to get into the last final podium position, but Matt Davies is taking all the curb and more all over the grass, eager to get to the front of the grid to try and get some points in this round, because he's had a good round in the previous round, round 1 at Lime Rock Raceway, which is, if you're into iRacing, you'll know that one well. But so far tonight, he's not having the best luck at all. So that looks like Jake getting overtaken by Ross Parker then. So Ross Parker gets through on Jake. Jake doesn't want to give it up though, so he's on the outside, Ross on the inside. Matt Davies looks to go to the inside with Ross, but Ross is not as fast as him, so he does go into the back of Ross. Matt Davies tries to go at the inside of Jake, and he gets Jake, but will he get Ross as well? Because Ross is wide into the chicane, 2 into 1, and Ross has lost it. He's going to straight line it, and Matt Davies has hit the chicane. Oh, what a nightmare for the 31 of Matt Davies, and that's allowed Tom Simpkins recovering from, oh, and that's a mayhem in the background. So we've got Alex McGee off, Stephen Paul, it looks like, Ross Parker. Oh, Ross Parker's had a nightmare. Or is that John Walker? Sorry, that's John Walker in the 34 car. Need to choose some different liveries, boys, so I can tell the difference. As they all go sideways through turn 1. Big flames from the side of Ross. Oh, fuck. Excuse me, Rob Fowler's 22 car. Let me just check, see if my swear button works. Not sure if that's working, but maybe I should use that next time. Okay, 3.2 in the lead of Max Tad, who's showing again. Once again, he has got the pace here. It wasn't just a one-off lucky finish. Third position under pressure from Matt Davies. Even though Matt's had a bit of an eventful race, he's managed to be up there, so he's in fourth, chasing Jake Biggerstaff for third position. So they go nose to tail, really, really close. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to defend? Jake continues to hold his line, but he does go defensive. He goes middle of the road, forces Matt Davies to make a decision. Matt Davies is going to try and go the inside into the second apex. He's kind of scared. Jake off the line there, but doesn't throw his nose up into the chicane. I think it'd have been a bit of a send if it had left his nose in there, so he gives Jake the room, and Jake survives to live another day. Matt Davies going to the outside for turn 1 then. Can he do it round the outside? Because he's tried the inside, it didn't work, and he just seems to be carrying so much speed, does Matt Davies, that he's catching all the back of the cars at the wrong place. He's catching them mid-corner and he's having to check up mid-corner, and it's costing him straight line speed, but he's up the inside this time, and he's going to go through the flat-out right-hander on the inside, and then there's a little kink here which is flat out, and then hard on the brakes into a left-hander, but he's managed to get the move done. So Jake cannot hold on to it to try and get the inside for this left-hander, and all the time that is allowing Tom Simpkins to close in on these two in the orange and green car in the background. We've then got Dave Rose and Andrew Wellborn having a little battle there. Jake Biggerstaff nearly in the back of Matt Davies. Matt Davies misses the apex there, loses traction, so Jake has got a better run out there. He takes the grass, and that's not a good run, and that's not a good way to exit that corner, because that's going to allow Tom Simpkins through on both of them, which it does, and Matt Davies is still fighting with the car. So Jake and Matt getting together, change of position there, and then Ben Hanks moving up on Stephen Paul in third position. This allows Andrew Wellborn and Dave Rose through then, so they've taken Jake and Matt, so these two by two managed to move up the order into fourth and fifth, and Dave gets all sideways and Jake collects him. Unlucky for Dave Rose there. Jake just went up to the inside of him and tapped him, and once these cars are in a slide, if there's any contact, it's very, very difficult to keep them in a straight line. Matt Davies now up the inside of Jake Biggerstaff. How long is left? 3 minutes 40 to go, plus a lap. Jake Biggerstaff all over the place on the inside. He's going to get a good slipstream though behind Matt Davies, and Andrew Wellborn, after a pretty poor start, has managed to find his way through, just keeping it on the circuit nice and tidy. The order at the front is still the same: Rob from Max, from Tom, and then Andrew Wellborn, as we look at here in the 101, colours of Italy, Alfa Romeo, and then Matt Davies with Jake Biggerstaff not wanting to keep these tyres for another race, absolutely burning them up on the rear axle. Andrew Wellborn getting a little bit out of shape there. You saw him having to correct mid-corner, and that's really cost him quite a lot of speed on the exit. So that's going to allow Matt Davies, look at how much speed Matt Davies has carried through that corner. He's going to be well alongside by the time he gets to the next corner, but without the slipstream though, Andrew's managed to get back on him. Will he go for a move down the inside? He thinks better of it. Probably a good move. We know Matt Davies has got good pace, but you see the cars all stepping out. Good run from Andrew though. Will he be nice and tidy through the chicane? Hard not to hit these barriers, and Matt Davies has got it all wrong on the exit. He's fighting with the car, and Andrew is going to drive past into fourth position once again. Ross Parker down to 12th, so Alex McGee has got through on Ross Parker for 11th position. Andrew Wellborn continues to defend. Jake Biggerstaff looked like he was going a little bit wide in the background there, but he's managed to keep it on the track. Gap at the front, 3.5, so... Oh! Yes, sorry. Stays at 3.5, so Rob Fowler this race having a much, much better race. Managing to hold Max Tad at that 3.5 second gap. Ben Hanks down a place into 10th position. He's having a great little battle with Stephen Paul, but he's gone wide there in the 50. So he will be looking to try and get back on terms with Stephen Paul, but with only a minute and 20